Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can tell by the title, I'm gonna kind of be talking about my experience being in a sorority but also being Christian. There are all these stereotypes that surround Greek life, whether it be from like extreme partying to not doing well in school, but I'm here to just kind of talk about my experience because kind of when you think of the two, trying to live a Christian life and also being Greek life, it doesn't seem like they could fit together. So I'm just gonna kind of talk a little bit about that and about what my 4 years in a sorority was like. So my freshman year at Sonoma State University, I decided to go through recruitment. No one in my family is in a Greek organization, and I don't know why, I think I saw like the Panhellenic table out like in our quad one day and it was just super cute and I was like, I want to join whatever organization has that really cute table. And so they're like, oh, you should sign up for recruitment. I was like, okay. So I signed up and I went through recruitment. I knew what sororities were, but I didn't know much about Greek life. I didn't know anyone at my school, so I was like, it'll be a good way to meet people. Even if I don't end up in a sorority, I'm sure, recruitment will still be fun. So I go through and I end up joining Alpha Delta Pi. So I was in Alpha Delta Pi at Sonoma State University, and that was probably one of the best decisions that I made in college, was to go through recruitment and to join a sorority. It gave me, I'll probably do like a separate video on it, but there are so many experiences and skills that I learned in my sorority that I probably wouldn't have learned otherwise, but that's besides the point. So I joined AD Pi. I didn't really know anybody else in it. A few girls I had seen like here and there, but when you are brand new at a university and you don't know anyone and then you join this huge organization of all these girls, it can be really intimidating. So for like the first semester, I was really shy and I didn't really know how to like put myself out there and kind of like show who I was. But luckily I got a really amazing big diamond sister, and she kind of encouraged me to apply for leadership positions and introduced me to something called Greek Intervarsity. So at my school we had normal Intervarsity, which was just like the biggest like Christian club, I guess you could call it, at our school. And I had gone a few times, but I just wasn't really like finding my group of people, if that makes sense. Like the people are super nice and welcoming and I liked the studies that they did, but I just like felt like we were kind of on different wavelengths, if that makes sense. So I was looking for something where I could like grow my faith journey, but also find people who were maybe like more like me in my interests and the things that I like to do in my free time. And so one day my Big brought me to this thing called Greek Intervarsity, which was like the branch. If you have Intervarsity at our school like this, the Greek Intervarsity is just kind of a little branch off of it. And it's for students who are in Greek life, and it's basically like a Bible study. So our sorority had one, and so she brought me to it because she knew I was like kind of looking for something. And as soon as I walked in the door, I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like all these girls in my sorority who, I like kind of knew, I had seen around, they were all there. The room was like packed the first time that I went. It was so full of all these girls who were in my alpha class. That's like what we call like a pledge class kind of. They were all in my alpha class who were there too, and with their bigs, and it was just like, I was so like, oh my gosh, this is so great. And so that was like a super huge help through my like 4 years of college, was having Greek Intervarsity. It would be that place where I could go like with my sisters or with people that I had met in other organizations, for us to go and like do Bible study and just like kind of dive into the word together. It really gave us that space. So that was nice that we already had that space created for us. So that's really when like my relationship with God kind of started to grow, and I was starting to do studies on my own and just things by myself, in addition to going to like our regular chapter ministry time. So from there, I just really tried to show the other girls in my sorority who God was through like what I was doing, if that makes sense. So they all knew that I went to Greek Intervarsity and they knew that I was a Christian. So that wasn't a secret. So I just tried to show like God's love through my actions and through like caring for other people and being there for other people in my sorority and just like, you know, trying to show God's love that way. You know, when you're a part of Greek life, obviously a part of it is like the formals and the mixers and all of those kinds of events that can potentially get really messy. But just because you're Christian and you're choosing to live a lifestyle that is reflective of what Jesus says we should be living in the Bible, that doesn't mean that you still can't go to those things and have fun. So I would still go to them. I would just choose to be sober and either be like the designated driver, or for like our formals and stuff, I would be on this separate committee called risk management committee, where essentially we'd be looking out for the other girls in our sorority and just making sure that everyone was making good choices and that no one was going to get hurt and that nothing bad was going to happen to our organization because of decisions that people were making. So that kind of gave me a role and a place for those types of situations, or maybe I didn't want to partake, but I still wanted to be a part of it and, you know, enjoy the experience, if that makes sense. Basically, what I am saying is that all of my worries about like kind of not fitting in and not being able to find a place in the sorority because I didn't want to partake in like the partying or, you know, like the alcohol and things like that, I still had a place in it, and I was still able to make lifelong friendships and really just try to be a reflection of Jesus's love and his character in a place that is so lacking of that. And something that I learned at a Greek Intervarsity conference, which really helped me at the time, because I was kind of in a place where I was like feeling like I wasn't really fitting in, and people were just kind of like, oh yeah, you know, like she's the Christian girl who doesn't like to drink or party or anything. One of the speakers at the conference said that one of the populations that needs to be reached the most in terms of like college students is Greek life. And what the pastor said was that the Greek life system is one of those communities within the college realm that needs to be reached the most. They are one of the farthest from God because of just their lifestyle. And that's kind of what Greek life has evolved into. And they are the ones who, like, I mean, we all need Jesus, but people in Greek life, like, if Jesus is over here, people in Greek life are like all the way over here. He was saying how you're in a really influential and powerful position if you can be Christian and are in the Greek community. And he was saying, like, don't waste that opportunity. People in your sorority or in your fraternity or just in that community that you're a part of need to see God's love, and they need to see that there is something greater than the parties and the alcohol and just all of those like worldly desires and things that go on in the Greek community. And I'm making the Greek community sound really bad in this video, but like I said, there are so many wonderful positive things about the Greek community that I'll probably get into in another video, because I'll probably get into in another video, but I just don't want to get into it in this video. But yeah, they need someone who can reach them, if that makes sense. And if you are in Greek life and you are Christian, you have that opportunity and you have that place where you can invite them to Bible study, or you can invite them to church, or you can, you know, just ask them like, oh, do you believe in God? And kind of start that conversation. And you never know. There have been so many surprising moments, I guess you could say, that I've had while in Greek Intervarsity. Now I'm the leader for my chapter, so there are so many like wow moments where you're like, I've never thought that person would, you know, ask me about God, or want to come to Bible study or even want to go to church, you know, like I never thought that they would want to do that, but you'd be surprised, like people do, and they wonder about God and they think like, oh God, just like give me a sign, and you asking them to go to church or inviting them to Bible study might be that sign, and ultimately like might help lead someone to Christ, which is really, really special. So yeah, if you are, let me start over because I moved. So yeah, if you are wondering what it's like to be Christian in Greek, at times it's not always easy. You might feel really out of place or like you can't find exactly where you fit in, but odds are someone in your chapter or someone else in your fraternity or sorority is feeling the same way as you are. And as soon as you start being more open about it and are kind of willing to put yourself out there, you will find a whole group of people who are feeling the exact same way that you are. And sometimes it's people who grew up Christian or grew up Catholic or whatever it is, but when they got to college they just wandered so far from God, but you know, now they're kind of wanting to find their way back and reconnect. Or maybe you have people who grew up not going to church at all, but they've always wondered about God, you know, that you can really, like I said, be kind of that bridge for someone and helping them get to a place, and helping them have a relationship with God, which is like the best gift that you can give somebody. And at first when I heard that pastor say like, don't kind of waste your, what did he say? He was basically saying, no, sorry, okay, let me start over. When I heard that pastor speak at that conference and he was like, don't waste your opportunity here, I was kind of like, that's not me. I don't want to push like my beliefs or anything like that on anybody, but I kind of started to think about it in a different way. I'm not pushing beliefs on anyone. I'm just making it open and clear that this is what I believe and this is the lifestyle that I'm living, and people will like ask you about it, and people have asked me about it, and people have come to my Bible study and, you know, have wanted to create that relationship with God. So like I said, it's going to be difficult at times. At times it's going to feel like there's no one else on this journey with you, or it may feel like you are not good enough or you're not wanting to put yourself out there, but I just really encourage you to kind of like lean into those feelings and pray about it, and you never know what might manifest or what might happen if you are willing to put yourself out there. So I hope that answered maybe some of the questions that you had about what it's like being Greek and Christian. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below and I'll get back to you. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. So bye everyone!